and we are very thankful for them taking their time to really give orientation and tips and inputs to our students. So basically, Iram is studying in IIT Patna. She has scored 129 rank in KCET and 149 in COMEDK, and she is basically a V scholar in one of the topmost 200 students out of the 200 scholars selected. Okay, and she is also an intern in Google. And Shreya, basically, she is an electrical engineering student from IIT Patna. Like Kiram, she is also from Bangalore, and she is a coordinator of Tinker's Lab in IIT Patna. Basically, she has scored 545 in KCET and 2000 in COMEDK. So the intention of today, as which is already given, which is an agenda, they'll be speaking on understanding the exam structure, which is very important, test taking strategies, revision strategies, formula sheets, and important concepts, mock tests, and timing practice, additional tips and tools. And then, if you have any questions, you can uh, ask. So before I hand over it to Iram and Shreya, I would like to let them introduce them with what is our effort and what is the context of this student and how they have joined here. Basically, this is the effort of Apex Educational Welfare and Education Society, where we are conducting a test series to the students on a regular basis. These are those students who are either do not have an exposure of a continuous test series, maybe because they are not going to that kind of institutions, or and more than that, our test series have an upper edge where we have a very strong analytical techniques which helps them understand what are the issues with the students, which chapters they are really not focusing, where they are finding more negatives in the test, and what are the areas they have to improve. So our test series really helps students to analyze their results, yeah, after and take it to the next level after every other test series. So uh, this is the basic context. uh, I think Iram and Shreya will be also speaking about the importance of the test series. Shreya and Iram, basically, to just give you more context, these are the kind of reports we generate after every test. Okay, where after every test we give this kind of a report where student understand what they have scored here, how many positives, how many negatives, and from which topics they have left a lot of questions, from which chapters they have attempted many, from which chapters they are getting positives, from which chapters they are getting negatives, and these are the key answers of the examination. So our pattern basically is every week we conduct this, along with we give them short tips, notes, video lectures in the start of the week, and we give a micro syllabus for the week. And after that, after the week, we take the test and give this kind of a report with the counseling to them. And again, we give them the solutions and a complete video lecture series and everything. So this happens every week, so that the students who have access to this kind of infra or do not have, everyone gets an equal opportunity to get into it. So this is our model. So with this basic introduction as to what these students are today getting, I would like to hand it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, hello everyone. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes,
Okay, great. So, hello everyone again. Hope all of you are doing extremely well. I am Ira Miraj from the Computer Science and Engineering Department of IIT Patna, and this.
Hello everyone, myself Shreya. I am from Electrical and Electronics Department from IIT Patna. Today we'll be sharing you a few tips and what our process was going preparing for this KCT exam.
So, starting off, this is going to be an extremely interactive session, so get your questions ready. Starting off, I don't think I need to explain the exam of KCT as most of you would already be aware of it. So, Karnataka Examination Authority has already released the KCT 2024 examination pattern. So, make sure you're well versed with the whole exam process and the paper pattern. As you know, there'll be 60 questions and 80 minutes. Each question carries only 1 mark, and there's no negative marking. As the pattern gives you really less time for each question, you must be quick on your feet and know when to leave questions. We recommend a maximum of 45 seconds to 1 minute per question, as you will get a chance to revisit the leftover questions once you tackle the other questions. And never get stuck on one question, and just truly believe that there are other questions that you can tackle and you can solve, and never overinvest your time. Even if you face a question from a topic that you're really well versed in, never take it upon your ego and be steadfast in solving the questions. Just be focused and know when to leave a question. Oh, over to Shreya.
The most important part of preparing for the exam now will be you doing the mock tests. So you should be giving mock tests for PYQs and based on PYQs and all. What we would recommend is give mock tests during the actual exam timings. So it would be in the morning and afternoon session. So try to give your papers during that time. Set an 80-minute benchmark, sit in a place and take a question paper and answer it. And try to, as Iram said, try to not get stuck on one question, because there'll be a lot of other questions. So just keep a track of time too. What I used to do was, I used to, after every 10 questions, I used to check how much time was left or how much time it took up for that 10 questions. So we would recommend you to find out a way of your own, but always keep track of timings, because it is a 60-mark question and each question carries 1 mark. So every question has the same weightage. So bending upon one question would not be right. So you should just keep on moving to the next question and try to finish the paper as soon as possible, at maximum in 60 minutes, so that in the remaining 20 minutes you have a time to go back to questions which you want to revisit, or you want to just solve it again or something like that. And also try to get a printout of any OMR sheet and practice your mock tests in that OMR sheet. So we make mistakes while in the actual exam, while giving it an OMR sheet. We like maybe I miss a question and then all of the question get messed up, which you don't want happening in the main exam. So practice your mock test in the same way as you give your main exam. Over to you.
So the most important part of any examination is your revision, and as of the exam is really close, I'm sure all of you are in the similar stages. KCT is an objective type exam, so most of the questions are going to be formula based and factual based. So make sure you make a handwritten formula sheet yourself for all subjects. I always used to revise my formula book every day before the exam. Your formula sheet is your best weapon towards all of your exams, and the formula sheet that you have made, each and every formula should be on your fingertips. As you have handwritten all of the formula, it wouldn't be very hard for you to memorize the whole book. I used to follow this technique where the first thing that I used to do in the morning while brushing is revise my entire formula book. It doesn't take very long for you to visualize the pages. So make sure every day when you get up, while brushing or doing some really normal task, try to visualize all of the formulae, and you will be really surprised to know that within a couple of days you have memorized the entire book. There are also useful resources like the Allen Handbook. You can easily get a PDF online of the older versions, so you can take inspiration from there how to make formula sheets. Here are a few pictures from my own formula sheets. You notice how simple these are. There's no description, no nothing. It's just simple formulae. These are basically just cues for you to remember the whole topic. They're not supposed to teach you, but the second you see the formula, you're supposed to remember that entire page of the textbook. You're supposed to remember all of the key concepts. I have
See,
told share.
also for the it is a KCT exam, right? So it is in that standard where NCRT textbook is the most important resource for you. So even for chemistry, especially for chemistry, most of the questions will be from NCRT, from facts, and the questions directly come from lines. They just pick up one line and then they give you the question. So NCRT is really helpful. So we would say for all your subjects, go through the NCRT. Make sure you have went through the NCRT like a minimum of at least 5 times, because KCRT paper just comes out from NCRT. And also make sure your concepts are very clear from the miscellaneous exercise and other sections. And also for the mock tests and PYQs, you can just find question papers in Google. So if you just type KCET, you'll get question papers over there. And like just give, as I said, just give your mock test as you give a real exam. And after every mock test, you can just update your formula sheet, because might be something that is missing in your formula sheet. So whenever you go wrong with a question, you analyze your mock test paper, and then you go back to the formula sheet, and you just update the formula sheet. That will also be helpful. And make sure to give more mock tests and do more PYQs, that would help that would help you in like analyzing where you stand. And also, as I've seen the Apex Welfare and Education's mock test series, I saw that they give you a detailed analysis of what you missed out. So I feel like that is a very good thing. So you should be utilizing that for your benefits.
So aside from that, there are a lot of little things that you can take care of. Okay, and reiterating on that analysis, it's very important. Every time you give a mock test, there is absolutely no use if you're not going to sit back and analyze your own paper, and you have to truly leverage the amazing analysis that Apex Education is giving you. Next, the other little things that you can take care of is always see the sample OMR before going into the exam, as KCET has a little different OMR pattern compared to your normal Olympiads. There will be a question paper code, there will be an answer script code, and if you don't write them properly, it can truly cost you. And second thing, I know it's getting really hot back in Bangalore, so make sure you're in comfortable clothing and carry a cold bottle of water. And another thing is make sure to carry an analog watch, as digital watches are not allowed. And even when you're taking mock tests at home, be sure to wear that analog watch and get a habit of checking the time after every question or even after every 10 questions, as Shreya said previously. And also, you have to be really focused and prepared, as there are going to be a lot of disturbances outside your exam center, as my friend Shreya had already shared that when she was giving her examination, there was an entire cricket match going on outside her exam center. So you have to be really focused, and that 80 minutes, all you have to see is your question paper and your OMR sheet. So thank you for thank you for listening, everyone. We are open for questions. Any questions?
Okay, so I'll just share a few more things before any of you come up with any questions. So, like as Iram said, when my personal experience was when I was giving my KCT paper, there was a whole cricket match going around, and it was in the same college. So the authority had to make sure were given a proper exam environment before giving, but that didn't happen. So you have to be prepared. It doesn't happen to everyone, but it might happen to you. So just be focused on your paper. Being focused on your paper is very important, because each and every paper you give will decide your KCT rank and then further your college. So after all the efforts you put until now, you shouldn't let exam environment designate your paper. So just be focused about that. And also this analog watch thing, it's like you're not allowed for digital watches. So just while you're giving the mock test also, just have the analog watch with you, and then go like practice. but basically the mock test is a way in which you are supposed to practice in the environment where you'll give the actual exam. So that would be one thing. And I guess we have a question: how to revise the syllabus. So like see, the basic thing for revising syllabus now would be you should be ready with your formula sheet. So like go through your formula sheet and just go through it the topic wise. Okay, KCT has a syllabus, right? So go take out the syllabus thing and then go through the topics and see in this topic are you well versed, and then the next topic, like that, just go through all the topics. Iram.
Adding on to the answer, as I said before, you could try this little technique that I used to try. Every morning when you get up, try to couple this with while you're eating or while you're brushing, try to recall all of your formulae. And within 3 to 4 days, you can honestly remember the entire textbook, the entire formula book. You'll be truly surprised with how capable you are. So make sure you go through that formula book every day, even before you get into the exam. The true thing that can actually get you confidence is your formula sheet. So take it seriously, make a handwritten version, and look at it every day. It's very, very important. So we have another question. Physics is a bit hard from recent years. Some JE questions are directly asked. So would it be helpful to solve some JE PYQs? Okay, so first thing, we have also written JE. So most of the questions are again conceptual based, and NCRT would probably not be enough. I don't think you have to invest so much time, as you have very little time for your exam. Instead of going for directly JE questions, try to attempt NCRT exemplar. Those also have a pretty decent level of questions, and even if you solve a long answer type in the exemplar, you will have a pretty decent practice of your question, of the difficulty level, and revise all of the concepts. And at the end of the day, most of the questions will be formula based. So try and memorize all of the formulae, and truly get to know when to apply what. Okay, and you don't have to worry. Okay, you have really less time, so there is absolutely no use of experimenting. Just believe in yourself and all of the content that you have already learned. Sure. Exemplar questions are a little bit tougher. That's why you solve it after the NCRT textbook. But it's only for your concepts. And as long as timing practice comes in, always just focus on the KCET, PYQs, and the mock tests that you're being provided by Apex. So those are just for your concepts. Okay, so alongside building your concepts, strengthening them every day, doing a little tougher questions, a little more subjective questions, doing a long answer type that is of 5 marker can actually benefit you for the next 15 questions of objective type, right? So just sit there, max to max 2 hours, just spend on NCRT exemplar in order to get those hot questions in KCET. Otherwise, just focus on your KCET PYQs and mock tests that you're being provided. Yes, Asma, exemplar is good for KCET exam. Any other questions?
Yes, so the exemplar is good for the concepts, as Enam already said. So don't think about solving the exemplar questions under a minute. Under a minute, we only recommend it for KCT papers. So if it is a mock paper or if it is a PYQ, then try those to solve those under 1 minute. But if it is exemplar, it is for your conceptual based practice, which as Enam already said. So you don't have to worry about solving exemplar questions under 1 minute. So I have one more question. What is the percent of theory based question to come in all subjects in KCT? I think it depends on the subject. For chemistry, most of the questions would be theory, but there would be a few questions on which are solving type also, like pH based questions would be solving. But in chemistry there would be more theory based question. In math it would be obviously all solving type. There might be a one or two just true or false type questions, but it would be most of the solving type questions. And in physics also it will be mostly for solving type questions. There will be conceptual questions, but it will be mostly solving type. And if you want to know like what percent theory based questions will come in subjects, then like by doing PYQ papers we'll have an idea. So basically we tell you, we are putting stress on the fact that you need to do PYQs, because you'll get an idea for yourself. Not when, like, yeah, we telling you how much uh, percent the theory based questions will come, or how question paper will come, is also a good thing, because we have experienced that. But when you give PYQs by yourself, you will have an idea about how to do it yourselves, like what percent of the part is what and all that. So you'll have a pretty good idea of what the paper would actually be like before actually giving the paper of your year. So that is one thing. So we have another question. Math is too lengthy these years. How to manage time? Yeah, math was lengthy paper for our year too. We had a tough time with that. So like math is usually lengthy paper. So I would say just try practicing more papers for math mock exams. So, and also keeping a track of time is very important in math exam too. Like as I said, after 5 questions, just see how much time you have spent, how much time is left, and all. And for your, I think for your year, I think they've increased the time. For us, it was 60 minutes, 60 questions. So for you, you have around 60 questions and 80 minutes. So just try, as I said, try to finish your paper before 60 minutes. Like also don't be too bent upon one question. And also one more thing, don't leave a question completely. Like you see a question and you feel like in this four options any two might be right, just and then you just be like, I'll come back to that. If you do that for a lot of questions, then you'll have less time. So what you do is just read a question, go through the options. You might, there might be sometimes where you feel like two options is might be right, I don't know which to choose. Just come to one conclusion in that in like a fraction of a minute, and then just move on to the next question. And then when you come back, you can just see if that is right or not. And while see, there are different practices for each and every person. What I did was, the questions I was sure about, I marked them in the OMR as soon as that question is done. But what you can do is, you can just attempt the complete paper in your question paper, and then come back and then mark it in the OMR. But what I would recommend is, if there is a question which you're completely sure about, just mark it in the OMR as soon as possible, and then just move on to the question, and leave the space in for that question if you're not sure about that, so that you can come back and check. And before submitting the OMR, just check if you have marked all the questions. That is also one thing.
Also for math, um, it's very important. As important is to solve questions, it's equally important to know when you cannot solve a question. You should not be in over investing your time. Also, don't take questions on your ego. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि there's a topic that you know completely and there's a tough question, or you be like, ये topic तो मुझे आता है, इसका question कैसे नहीं solve होगा. So you need to know when to leave questions. That is a very special thing about maths, is simple questions can turn tricky very, very soon. Okay, so you're midway in the question, in your 1 minute cycle that you will develop during your mock test, you need to know that, okay, this question is getting way too twisted, you need to move on. Okay, next, for math, also you can try hunting for questions, like questions of matrix multiplication. Matrix is a lot easier. You can try for sets, relations. All these questions can be done very, very quickly, as they're very intuitive and formula based. So always first hunt for those formula based questions. Next is math compulsory for PCB students. I don't think it is. You only need to attend 3 questions, I guess, if you want to appear for the nursing list. You can take physics, chemistry, bio. Otherwise, you can just confirm this again from the official website. Best online lectures for CET. So individual subjects have their own YouTube channels. And first thing, never believe that one channel can provide you good content for all the topics. Try and go hunting your own YouTube videos for each subject. For math, I used to go for Math on Go, and for physics, I used to just watch Vedantu or study on your own. Physics is honestly, the NCRT textbook is one of the most beautiful textbooks to be written. If you genuinely sit down and read all of it, it will really come in front of you like a story. Shreya, you want to take the next question?
How many marks should be best to give for now? See, for marks, whatever they're giving you from the Apex Apex Welfare Society, that would be good. Other than that, try to solve all the question papers from around PYQ questions. Like 2015 to now it is to 2024 to 2023, you have around 8 papers to solve for each and every subject. So make sure before the actual exam, make sure you have given all the pyqs at least from 2015 to 2023, or if that is not possible, at least from 2018 to 2023. Minimum 5 pyqs, the recent year pyqs you should be doing first, because though they will be more relevant to your paper, because the earlier one will be not that relevant. So like for the pyqs, just try to have at least 5 pyqs done. Any other questions?
Adding on to the number of mock tests, uh, it really depends on you. 1 hour, 20 minutes is actually a very short amount of time. So I would advise maybe even 2 mock tests if that is feasible. In the morning, you can give it in your normal exam schedule and sit down and analyze your paper for at least 2 hours. You should be able to categorize your mistakes, whether it was factual understanding that you missed on, that you didn't know the theory, you did a calculation mistake, or you just could not derive the formula. So analysis is honestly way more important than the number of mock tests that you give. Another question: CET mainly based on MCQ or theory? It is an MCQ paper, so you have to be clear with both your theory and solving time. And as the entire session was, you have to be very quick on your feet. 1 minute per question. That's it. So just go through, guys. Honestly, it's a lot easier paper. Just focus on what you know. It's a game of confidence, and at the end of the day, when you make your own formula sheet and when you go through it every day, you yourself will get to know what is right for you and how much speed that you want to go with. So any other questions? I hope that answers your question. If you have any follow-up questions, you can go ahead and ask me. I had to appear for NEET 2025. How can I give the mock test? Uh, Mock test for KCET, I believe that's the context. So, if you don't have time to appear for actual mock tests, make sure that you at least take PYQs as mock tests. And as Shreya said, there are only 8 PYQs that are truly relevant to you. So that would take how much time? 4 days, or you can do it even faster if you want. And another technique that I used to apply is, as the day was approaching of the exam, instead of 80 minutes, start giving your exam for 60 minutes or 70 minutes. And when on the actual day, when you land up finishing your paper 10 minutes earlier, right, the amount of confidence boost that you get is immense. So, but, so you can just try to give the PYQs. PYQs honestly will hold a little more value than actual mock tests if you have limited amount of time or you're juggling with too many exams. Other questions? Sure.
How to manage NEET and CET? See, for like managing it would be more like if you're giving in CET, I believe if you're giving NEET, then you wouldn't be giving the math paper. So just focus on preparing for the syllabus. Syllabus is the same for like most of the part of the syllabus would be same for both, and both are MCQ and type itself. The only advantage you have in CET is that there is no negative marking. So for NEET there is negative marking. So now I guess the CET is approaching faster. So just focus on the PYQs for CET, and then after you're done with CET, your CET exam, start preparing for NEET, and give more importance to NEET that time, when like it's just 2 weeks left for CET. So I would believe you should give more importance to CET for now. My optics section is a bit weak. Some tips to improve, especially ray optics. Okay, ray optics should be like, maybe for ray optics, if you go through some YouTube videos, that would help you in visualizing how it works. So that might help. And other than that, for ray optics and optics in general, have your formula sheet completely thorough. See if there is any topic which you feel like you're weak in, you make sure you have that topics formula sheet ready and very thorough. And whenever you know that there is a topic in which you're weak, go back to that topic more than the topics which you are well versed. So that would be one thing. What is minimum marks to get government college in KCET? That depends on every year, and that mostly depends on the rank. I believe people with less than 10K rank usually get a good government college, and that would depend on every year. So rather than focusing on marks, I think that would be better for analyzing your rank. And for now, you should focus on the actual work than the results. So just focus, make sure that in the mock tests you get, see, it depends. In the mock test you give for 60, if you're getting around 50 or 55 or something, that is a really good score. So I would believe that would reflect on your main paper also. So uh, that is also there. Are CET marks important for medical? So for now, I think for medical seats, it would be like only NEET is the only exam through which you get an admission in medical colleges. So it is not that important for medical colleges, because you wouldn't get a admission through CET to medical colleges. But yeah, CET also has this nursing division. So it depends on what you want to do. But uh, like, see, before giving every exam, uh, give the exam in a proper way and in a good way, so that you have more choices open for yourselves, so that you wouldn't have to depend on only one exam and one result. Just give every exam honestly, so that you have more choices open for you. And if you guys have any other questions, or if we didn't answer anything.
I would like to add on to the ray optics point that was raised. So, first thing, the beauty of physics is through one formula you can derive so many subcases. So, in the objective exam like this, make sure that you even, apart from memorizing your main formula, make sure you even memorize the subcases. Like, suppose there are questions, right, where there are two lenses separated at a distance x. You can learn for multiple cases, as in if there was a convex concave, concave concave, or if the lenses have where x is equal to 0, where the lenses are together. As I said before, you can go through the Allen handbook. It has all of these subcases and a lot of edge cases, formulas that you can remember yourself, so you don't have to sit there and derive all of the formula. But in case you don't remember or it just does not flash in your mind, always know that you can derive all formulae. And for deriving the formula, you need to be very clear with your concepts, and that's why we advise that you should solve NCRT exemplar, or at least spend some time doing subjective questions. So I have a question. I didn't find any video for KCET physics particularly, so I'm following EduNiti for formula and concepts. At the end of the day, physics is same across everything, right? You're going to have the same syllabus, the same concepts. So just make sure that your concepts are strong, and as long as it comes to specific examinations and specific question paper types, the only way that you can truly know what works for you is giving the mock tests and PYQs. And I know it's getting very repetitive, but PYQs and mock tests are the only way that you can actually secure a good rank. So it's short for concepts, and more than videos, I think you're going to learn so much more from the analysis that you do after a mock test. Even if you don't get good marks, sit with the analysis that is given to you by Apex Education and your own analysis, and look at each and every question again. So you'll learn so many things. You'll learn that, okay, this is another subcase, let me make a formula of it and register in my formula book. I hope that helps. Recently, I'm in class 12. What is the strategy to revise class 11 and stick on class 12 syllabus and manage the time of the day according to it? Okay, so class 11 subjects, the chapters are very heavy. I agree. It takes a lot of time. But at the end of the day, first thing, class 12 in case this is a very last minute option, try to focus on class 12 more. But class 11, make sure your concepts are a lot clearer, as they have those huge chapters, rotational body dynamics, I think. And then you also have chemistry has uh, pH balancing and all of that. And you have to sit down and do the concepts. I'm sorry, there's no easy route around it, but you have to sit through and do the questions. And usually questions from class 11th are usually solving, and you really have to derive it. Also, you have chapters like T block, S block, right? And as we said, you need to go through each and every line of class 11. And as you have pretty less time to the exam, maybe just go through the formulas of or chapter summaries or your notes of class 11, as you cannot relearn the entire chapter again, right? So go through your notes for now, go through your formulae, and try to attempt PYQs. As you attempt more questions, you'll realize that what is the knowledge gap that you're having, and after analysis also you'll get to learn a lot of things. Oh, there was this detail that I didn't know, let me revise it. Second thing, I understand math questions solved in classes for KCT, but when I do homework, I always struggle in solving new questions. So that is a case with everyone, right? So another thing, the only way around it is practice, practice, practice. And with math, it is tricky. And if you're not able to visualize the graph, if you're not able to visualize what is the process, it's going to be a lot tougher for you. So if you're not able to do your questions even after practicing in class, it's not, even though you feel like you're solving the question with the teacher, you're honestly just following. So when you come back into your room, try to revise all of the questions again. And if you're not able to understand it, don't feel hurt. Go to the theory back again. Okay, try to know. Just for example, if you have a chapter like coordinate geometry, um, we have the option of directly applying formulae, right? But if you're really not able to solve questions, go back to the theory, try to visualize it. There are a lot of tools which you can use for visualizing. There's this online graphing visualizer called Desmos. You can use it to see the functions, how they're actually plotted. So when you're actually during the exam and you're not able to make a formula or something, try to visualize that graph. I can give you the link also. Shreya, you can take the next question.
How to compare to NEET CET exam is tough or easier? Compared to NEET and JET, CET is on the easier part. So that would answer your question. And how to analyze a mock? Should I mark the question which I had problem, or should I revise the topics which I'm in weak and give the mock again? See, how to analyze a mock paper is, after you give a mock paper, see the questions in which you had trouble in. Obviously, while giving a mock paper, you would have marked the questions which you had trouble answering in, and questions which you left because you were not able to answer. So, firstly, note down the questions which you had left, and see, like, if it is a question of ray optics, and then go to the part. I mean, just analyze that question, why you weren't able to answer that question, and did you not know the concept, or did you just forget the formula or something. If it is something related to forgetting formula or forgetting something like that, then you should revise the formulas. And if it is something that you didn't know that concept, just go through the concept quickly and focus on the formula itself. Focus on the solving part of the question. For now, taking up new topics and new questions would be not a recommended thing. So for now, just go through the topic faster and focus more on how to solve that question. And how much time in a day should we give for CT when preparing for NEET 2025? Okay, for see, now CET is a lot nearer. It is around in just 2 weeks. So maybe for this week you can also prepare for NEET and CET parallelly. But when there's just 1 week left for CET exam, I would say stop NEET preparation for then and focus on CET. And then after the CET exam, you can go back for NEET. Just take 1 day break after the CET exam, I guess, and then you can go back to preparing for NEET. For now, our CET exam is getting nearer. Focus on the CET exam. And one thing I would like to add in general is, while you are after giving a mock paper, while you're analyzing, see which questions you left out, and see think about why you left out that question. If it is a formula that if it is that you forgot some formulas, revise the formulas once again. And that would, if you forgot the formula, that is a good reason, because you can just revise the formula and go back, and then you'll be able to solve it. And if it is something like you didn't know the concept, or you weren't able to solve it because you didn't understand the question, then focus on understanding the question, look into the solution, and see why you weren't able to think about that way of the solution. So that would be one thing. Any other question, guys? Organic chemistry in CET. Yeah, organic chemistry is more about remembering part, I guess. So for chemistry in general, be thorough with NCRT. For organic chemistry also, I would recommend going through NCRT itself. Go through all the like when you solve some PYQs, you will understand what kind of questions will be asked. So then you can, when after solving a PYQ, go back to studying your NCRT textbook. Then you think while studying the NCRT textbook after solving a PYQ, you'll think in a way that would help you in answering the question. So that is one thing.
Also, most of the questions for organic chemistry in CET will be directly reaction based. If you can see my screen, there was a picture of my formula book. So this is a chapter from organic chemistry. As you can see, it just has the name of the compound and the reactions. So for chemistry, just try to focus on the named reactions. And in CAT, you will not get very complex procedures. So you should be clear with the named reactions and the reaction process. How to manage the stress when we are unable to solve questions. Right. So exam results are maybe 20% effort and 80% confidence. Okay. The only way that you can actually build your confidence and avoid the stress and anxiety is practice. Okay. Try to give your mock tests and PYQs exactly in the given time frame that you give an actual exam. I think it's from 9 o'clock, right? So try to give it during that time so your brain will not be in a very different environment during the actual exam. And as I said, as important it is for you to solve a question, it is equally important for you to know when to leave a question. Okay, it should not be that one of the questions was an abnormality, an outlier, so you wasted so much time on it and you're very hurt that you could not solve the question, and you are not able to perform for the rest of the questions, right? So know when to leave the questions. That will really give you confidence. And once you get into the mock test and you do analysis, right, try to keep a separate notebook for analysis itself. And every day before going to sleep, look at that notebook, look at your formula sheet, and when you see your progress going right, it will automatically fade away that stress and give you immense confidence. Are there any decimal and root calculation tips for AC and modern physics chapters? Also, KCET is not a calculator-based exam, right? So most of the calculations will be really easy and you cannot solve it directly. Like if you have a very big formula and you have to place all of it, or you have to place all of the values, right? Don't go calculating like a calculator. Try to place the values; they will automatically cancel out. Okay, as it's a very fast-paced paper, even the examiner makes sure that you don't get very high dense calculations. So make sure that you're very smart and attentive on when you're canceling out and when you're trying to simplify the whole thing. And the root calculations, just know 3 to 4 values. Root 2 is 1.14, root 3 is 1.73. All of these mini values, you don't have to remember really long ones. I think maximum root, root 2 and root 3 is all you need to know. And maybe you can remember a few other log values, but you don't have to remember that much. Even the examiner makes sure that as you don't have the log table, as you don't have a calculator, they'll not give you anything that tough. Should I want to take the next one?
Yeah, sure. I'm studying for NEET currently, but also have to give CET in 2025 too. So it may be helpful for me if you share formula sheets of subjects. See, for formula sheets of subjects, you would get from like Allen handbooks on online and all that, and you'll get various other handbooks too. But we would say Allen is a good thing because that is what we studied from. And after, like, if you are giving your exam in 2025, then you have one more year for both the things. So what you could do now is maybe not focus on PYQs. You could now, for now, study and give mock tests from Apex Welfare Society. And other than that, for the formula sheets, try to make formula sheets of your own. Yeah, I guess looking into others formula sheets might be helpful to you, but at the end of the day, your own formula sheets which you made would be one which you wrote and made would be the one which you'll be remembering, because that is the one thing which you'll be able to visualize. So that is one thing. And the root and decimal calculation ones, they won't be asking you for more than zero point 0.2 or zero point 0.3 decimal points. So even if you round off, as it is an MCQ paper, which is where you'll have the advantage. So which you for which you'll have the advantage, so you can just put in, like, even if you do a rough calculation, you'll have a option which is closest to your answer. I mean, the at least the decimals, so that would be there. And yeah, I mean, the handbooks of Alan are available in their website, so you can just Google them and then find them from there.
Older versions are easily available on drives and PDFs. So even the older versions are equally good.
So anyone has any questions? Okay, we are not really the biology students, so we would not be the best people to answer that question. But I guess for biology, it is more about theory. So even I've seen my while preparing for JEE in my coaching, my friends who were of NEET used to be more focused on NCRT itself. They used to have each line of NCRT by heart. So I think that would help. But we are not really the people who would be answering good for answering your biology questions. But in general, if you're asking for CET, I would say just focus on the NCRT. In Apex test for NEET 11th, I am currently scoring 310. How to achieve 600 plus in Apex tests? So if you know your score, I mean, Apex also gives you the analysis of the subject. So in that year, I've also seen that they gave you which topics you were good in and which topics you left questions out. So after giving one or two tests, make an analysis of which are the chapters in which you are always answering and which are the chapters which you are not answering at all. So if there are chapters which you are not answering at all, study them and then you give that. And after studying those chapters which you're not answering at all, if you give the paper, that might increase your score. So as you're going to give NEET and CET in 2025, I would say try to increase your score in the mock test, because usually the score you get in your mock test and in your PYQ test would and the main exam which you would give would be around the same benchmark. So if you're getting around 310 now, it's okay, it's a good score. I'm not saying it's a bad score, but there is always room for improvement. So for now we can just focus on studying the chapters which you're not able to answer and the questions which you're not able to answer. Go back to those chapters, study them again, uh, be clear with your concepts from the start, and then if you put the proper efforts, there'll always be improvement in your scores. How to solve physics questions fast in minimum time in mock test. Okay, so like solving questions is more about your time, and it would be more about practice. So if you keep solving many questions and if you keep trying to solve it in less time, after a good amount of practice, you'll be able to pick up the time. So Iram.
Um, so, as I said, physics is a very, very beautiful subject, and a lot of the edge cases will come from your main formula itself. But in order to increase your speed, get those edge cases. Okay, it will really give you this extra boost compared to the other people, as you'll actually know, right? They don't ask you direct questions, and there will obviously be a question on the edge cases. So already know those edge cases, derive formulas for it, remember it. And there's a saying, right? Bleed more in practice, so you bleed less in war. So in the mock test, try to apply those formulas, and your mock test holds value only if you sit and analyze it for at least 2 to 3 hours. When you sit and analyze it, you'll realize that some edge cases you yourself can derive the formula. Derive the formula, put it in your formula book, and reiterate through the whole process of relearning your entire formula sheet. Okay, so the more cases you cover, the broader your viewpoint, the more experience that you get, you'll collect more formulas, cases, and you'll be able to solve questions a lot faster. And physics is all about concept and all about derivations. So make sure that you're good with it. So if you're able to solve an NCRT exemplar, a 5 marker question, you'll really get the experience on how to derive an entire concept just from knowing the theory part of it and how to truly convert it into numericals. So you have a lot of time, right? So make sure that you're crystal clear with your concepts. So in case you forget formulas, you can derive it. And as you get acquainted with the topic, your speed will automatically increase. Any more questions?
I guess we have a question. How to complete 12th syllabus when studying online? Okay, like now, if you're giving it in 2025, you would probably be starting your 12th syllabus right now. So, as chapters are done, be most focused in classes, and as you complete chapters, from the start, just as you go through a new chapter, make sure you are focused during the studying period, so that you wouldn't have to come back and go over the chapter all over again. So as you learn new chapters, just keep on adding them to your list of topics done. Do we have any other questions?
So that's great advice given to everyone by my father. And yes, your exam truly consists of how calm and stable and confident you are in the exam. And as I said, right, there are going to be a lot of distractions. So only thing that can lead you to success is your focus. Your daytime schedule for CET. Okay, so first thing is try to imitate what you would do in the actual examination. Try to wake up at the same time. Okay, try to have your breakfast early and give the exam in the exact same time slot and give your exam. Okay, 1 hour 20 minutes. Invest, go out, eat, have a little snack, and relax. And after 1 hour, come back and sit and analyze it 2 hours properly. You should be able to dissect each and every question on why you messed up, how can you improve, and what are your learnings. Okay, so at least spend 2 to 3 hours in learning. I mean, in analyzing each of your papers, and the rest of it as you are juggling NEET along with CET. So in the middle, you can take in time to learn your NEET concepts. Revise all of your things, and before going to sleep, at least 1 hour before you sleep, revise all of your formula sheets, all of your concepts, and you can try the technique again early in the morning while brushing. You can multitask and recall all your formulas and visualize your sheets. But at the end of the day, your day will be pretty empty. and you don't have to invest that much time, so you'll have time to invest in your NEET preparation also. Any other questions, queries? So I think we have run out of questions. So thank you, everyone. It was a very, very good session, and all of you raised really, really good questions. I feel that we could convey and give you more tips and more knowledge through your amazing questions rather than our slides. So, thank you for making the session really good. We would also like to thank Apex Welfare Society for giving us this opportunity to come and share our experience, our knowledge on the subject. And I really hope each one of you over here succeeds in life, which I know you will. Okay, so just be confident, be happy. Okay, your paper is not going to decide who you are, but these examinations are here to teach you about confidence, preparation, and hard work. And I'm sure all of you have learned that lesson. So just be confident, and the day you go step into the examination hall, make sure you feel like a champion, because you're not going to be a champion until you think like a champion, right? So just be confident on the day of the exam, and rock it there.
Yes, it was a really good session. You had raised a very, very good questions, and like answering your questions, we also had time to think about what our preparation was. So it was really good time hosting you guys, and it was really good interacting with you also. And I would like to thank Apex Welfare and Education Society for giving us this good opportunity. So thank you, everyone. It was a good session. I guess we'll forward the